Just they're taking over. Well, he told me, now that we're on the clock, we seem to try to be precise, and we start immediately. Are you hearing me there, Bob? So I guess I am being heard, so that's a good thing. Welcome, everybody, to BUC this morning. I'm seeing people still coming in, and this seems to be also the trend as we gather gradually back into this post-pandemic mode of more and more people joining us from days gone by and more visitors. And if you are a visitor or recently joined us, I certainly welcome you on behalf of everyone here at Bedford United. My name is Bruce McCulloch. I have the pleasure of being the presider for the month of November. And my goodness, I'm still seeing people coming in through the back doors, so this is great. The numbers are swelling still more. So the first part of our service is that we do a land acknowledgement, that we worship, we live, we play, we work on the land of the Mi'kmaq people. We are in some ways understanding our relationship with the Mi'kmaq through the treaties of peace and friendship that were signed in 1726 with not just the Mi'kmaq, but also with the Wolastoq and the Passamaquoddy nations of New Brunswick. So all these treaties were signed in 1726. And as we do our daily business, we take time occasionally to think, as we walk through trails and so on, of the people that have been here since time immemorial. And we think of how we can work and reconcile ourselves to being with them and at one with them and with nature. There are a lot of announcements this morning, and I've been told that I'm not up to the task. So I'm going to turn this over to Matt. He didn't say it in quite those words, but
all right, everybody, how you doing, Internet out there? We're glad you can join us today in person and online. My name's Matt. I'm the lead minister here at BC. And as Bruce alluded, there's some announcements. It's that time of year again. While Christmas is coming soon, cold and flu season is already right on. I'm seeing lots of masks out there today, lovely. And we just wanted to remind everyone that we did learn, of course, a few things through the pandemic about colds and viruses. So there are hand sanitizer stations throughout the church. Make use of those. Stay home or join us online if you're not feeling well. Get a flu shot. Got mine on Tuesday. Boost that up as recommended by Public Health, and you're always welcome to wear a mask indoors at BUC. Instead of doing a handshake, if you're not sure what to do, you can always do a namaste, right? People are cool with that. It's not an awkward conversation. It is not 2020 anymore. People are totally cool with that. Thank goodness. Can I get an amen that it's not 2020 anymore? Yeah. Woo! All right. See, Tony, they can, yeah. So thank you just to everybody, though. Honestly, we've always been a community of trust and care for each other, and we continue to be that way in respecting everybody's choices, so it's just beautiful. There is a big thank you here to Paul and Cheryl Reed, who instead of throwing the book at us this weekend, they put them back in the pews. A little touch of regular or whatever was normal church. So thanks to Paul and Cheryl for doing that and for all they do, but coming out on the weekend and making that happen for us. Let me see here. Just a reminder for those of you who signed up with Mr. Christmas for tree decorating that's happening after church. I have to scoot, otherwise I would be there because it's Isabel's birthday. So I have a party to get to after this, but you're going to have fun with Tony doing that. And there's a bunch of stuff happening. Okay, hot spot, Bedford United Church, 4 to 4:30 for setup if you want to help us do that. The Christmas parade in Bedford starts at 5:45, and then there's cleanup afterwards, so we can always use some extra muscle for that. We're serving hot dogs and hot chocolate. It will be wonderful. Somebody said, it might rain, though. And I said, but we live in Canada, and you haven't been out in 2 years. Bring an umbrella, raincoat, sou'wester, oil slicks, whatever. It'll be great. It's not going to rain that much. It should be good, everybody. November 27th, we have the live nativity. That's next Sunday. It's the first Sunday in Advent. And we have the celebration of light and life. And so how November 27th is going to kick off next week is, okay, let me get this right. I believe that at 5 o'clock, there is a potluck that is happening. And there's also some wreath making that's happening. And then there's the live nativity service, of which anyone can come and be a part of the Christmas story. You get costumes, which, Claire and I might show you a little bit of an advanced preview today of. It's really fun. Kids who just want to show up and sing in the cherub choir, we would love that. They're singing Away in a Manger this year. It's a beautiful, contemplative way of just telling the story in the evening at church. It's beautiful. So that's at 6. And then right after that, at 7 o'clock, because it's a triple header at BUC, is there are cookies and carols for the tree lighting and the celebration of light and life. And that's where we light the big tree up in the bell tower. And lots of us have made donations to remember people who are no longer with us in person, but are with us in spirit, or to celebrate life among us as well. And if you want to do that, you can keep doing that today. You can email bucfundraisingteam@gmail.com. Just make sure you let them know the name of the person you want to remember, along with your e-transfer. And there are clipboards going around that Lauren has there, and one is for the potluck, for the live nativity, if you want to help out with that, and the other one is for tree boughs. If you got access to tree boughs, we need them, because we're building a labyrinth for that service next week. Yes, we are. So those of you who are on the internet, that'll be fun for you. You can mail them through Canada Post. It'll be great. We would love that. Yes, that's right, Caitlin. Indeed. And Friends Nursery is happening today, so we wanted to remind folks, if you want to make use of the nursery, it's right through those doors on the right up the stairs, and we've got volunteers there for you. We want to remind people that if you're bringing in items for Sackville Area Warming Center and the Phoenix Stockings and the Sackville Heights Community Center Christmas Cheer Program, is that remember to bring those next week. Remember to bring those next week. That's important. Karen wanted to pass that on. And it's never too early, because we've already gotten emails about it. This is so great. The 4 o'clock, right, wonderful, legendary, holy chaos service at Bedford United Church on Christmas Eve. They're starting practices for the pageant that will be done that evening on Friday, November 25th at 5:30. There'll be another one on December 2nd, that's a Friday as well, at 5:30, and then everyone's going to talk about whether that's the best time to do it, because we all know it's tough finding that time. So if you want to be in the pageant, 4 p.m. service for Christmas Eve, November 25th at 5:30. Last two are really lovely. December 3rd, UCW Bake Sale and Luncheon. It's going to happen on 10:30 on December 3rd, and the tickets are out in the porch. Also, Bedford United's own Holy Trinity is creating a watercolor painting workshop fundraiser that'll be out there for you. So we have artists here who will show you what to do. Wednesday, November 30th, 12:30 to 3:30 in the hall. $25 a person gets you 3 greeting cards and all the supplies you need to do it. And that, my friends, are the announcements.
First time I've ever heard the announcements applauded. I think that was because we were grateful to have them over. I'll call on Caitlin to get the organization of the candles organized.
Do you want to come on up and light the candles? Do you want to say the words? Yeah? All right, speak in here. God is here.
God is here.
Oh, there's a stool. Here.
God is here
All the time.
all the time. What is it?
We'll wait until he's done lighting that one. Oh, yeah. Perfect. All are welcome.
All are welcome
All the time. Say all the time.
all the time.
Perfect. You got it. Oh, yes. Woo, it's there.
Yes. Thank you both. Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks, Ocean.
Good morning. I took you unaware, didn't I? Good morning. If you're able, please stand. We're going to sing together, River. Sorry, Bruce, for overtaking your intro. We got carried away singing. We're going to sing together, River. Shake out. Let's do this. Let's shake everything off from the week. All right. Get ready to clap. Here we go. See my journey through. For our next one, we're going to teach you a new song. It's an old song to me, but it'll be new to you, called Bond of Love. We are one in the bond of love. Now, how many know you can love each other, but sometimes you can get on each other's nerves? How many know that's true?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, we can do that, but love still remains. So I don't know, if maybe something that I just suddenly knew that someone had an argument or something with their spouse this week. Not me and Jason, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. But we're going to sing Bond of Love today. And this is our little welcome song. I like it when you wave at each other and stuff like that. So you can shake each other's hand or give yourself an elbow to elbow. We'll sing it through once for you, and then you can try it with us. Very, very easy. So easy tune, right? So I'm going to sing a line, and then you're going to sing a line back to us. You're all the choir today. Here's the first one. We are one in the bond of love. We are one in the bond of love. Good. We are one in the bond of love. We are one in the bond of love. We have joined our spirits with the Spirit of God. We have joined our spirits with the Spirit of God. We are one in the bond of love. We are one in the bond of love. Now there's no excuse. You can clap your hands. Here we go. We are one in the bond of love. We are one in the We are one in the bond of love. We have joined our spirits with the Spirit of God. We are one in the bond of love. Now I see clapping happening, but we're going to do this Newfoundland style. I'm looking at Eloise now. So it's not just a slow clap like this. It's we are one in the bond of love. Here we go. Let's do it. We are one in the bond of love. That's better. We are one in the bond of love. We have joined our spirits with the Spirit of God. We are one in the bond of love. One last time. We are one in the bond of love. We are one in the bond of love. We have joined our spirits with the Spirit of God. We are one in the bond of love. Now, I don't know if there's any newfies out there watching, but I hope there are because they think we were in their church today. My mom's watching. All right, thank you for your participation. We're going to sing one more. You can sit for this one if you like. Sit for the choir. We need to hear you. Water flowing from the mountains. And if you want to use your more voices in your seats, it's number 87. Sing, drink deep. Drink deep, the source of life. Drink deep and know, for living water sings, and living water brings the love that makes our spirit grow. Thank you. God bless.
Well, good night, Samuel.
Night, night, Eli.
Today we're telling a version of the story of Eli, the chief priest in the temple of Shiloh, and Samuel, his 12-year-old ward who helps him in his daily tasks. It's from the book of Samuel, chapter 3, but some names and cultural references have been modified from the original telling. And while no animals were harmed in the planning of this skit, Fair warning, your sense of humor just may be.
Samuel. Samuel. Samuel Ebenezer Garfunkel III.
Ah! Eli! What can I do? Elias, Gandalf, Dumbledore, David Hart the Grey, and the Most Magnificent. You called?
You shall not pass!
Wrong story. Good impression, though.
Yes, well, I was having the best dream. I was a wizard, and...
Eli, did you call just now?
What call, you say? No, not at all. You see, I was a wizard, and I was facing this Balrog in the bowels of Khazad-dûm.
All right, good night, Eli, good night. Of all
Okay.
the chief priests we could have found, the Joint Search Committee found this guy.
Samuel. Samuel.
Eli, I'm up. What can I do?
So do all who live to see such times, Frodo. All we have to decide is what to do at the time that is given to us.
Eli!
What?
Okay. Either I got some really bad candy from that VW bus at Trunk or Treat, or you're calling my name.
Oh, wait. Okay, full stop. There are treats left from the Trunk or Treat? Why was I not informed about this?
Eli, what do you want?
I want what every chief priest wants, I want a good night's sleep and a reliable pension.
Okay. Overworked? You're the only worth an hour on Sunday, please.
Samuel. Samuel.
I'm up. Eli, what can I do?
Oh, man, have you ever seen that movie Groundhog Day? You are like the worst Bill Murray.
Eli, just tell me what you want me to do.
It was in this moment, when all was lost of getting a good night's sleep, that Eli came to his senses and thought to ask.
Sam, it seems like you're having a hard night. Like, seriously, how are you?
Well, okay, honestly, I was having the worst dream. I was sleeping in a temple, and all these people were watching, as if what I was doing was going to be streamed to the entire universe. It was honestly so creepy.
Oh, come on now, Samuel. There's nobody here. Hasn't been anybody here in 2 years.
Ha, Eli. But seriously, I keep feeling like there's something I have to do with my life, but I just don't know what. But there's nothing worse than feeling like you have a purpose, but you don't know what it is or how you're supposed to live it out. You know what I mean?
Huh. That's actually pretty deep, Sam. You know what, though? You need to wise up.
Seriously, I'm 12. I have my entire life to wise up.
Well, take it from me, okay? I know a thing or two about this. The last thing that wisdom is about knowing everything. Wisdom is a way of knowing something that emerges from an opening in your heart and your mind and your spirit. Kind of like how a butterfly comes out of a cocoon, or how a flower buds for the first time in spring. That has nothing to do with age. It's a part of every living thing at every stage of our lives. Wisdom is about seeing into the heart of things and getting a greater perspective. And Sam, nobody does that better than you.
Wow. Thanks, Eli, but how am I supposed to do this wisdom thing? And if you're not calling my name, then who is?
Well, the next time that you hear your name being called, try answering that voice as if it's coming from inside you, instead of assuming it has to come from somebody else. Why do we assume that so often? You have wisdom inside you, Sam. Everybody does. You just got to be willing to listen. So maybe try answering with, "Speak, Spirit, I'm listening."
Seriously? But that's your job. The Spirit's supposed to talk to you, right? You're the chief priest.
Well, where does the wind come from and where does it go? The wind blows where it wills, and the same is the true for the Spirit. If God's greater than anything that any of us can imagine, why would God care about your age or your ability? Just listen to your heart.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Finally get some
Hey,
rest.
Sam, wake up. I want to talk to you.
Speak, Spirit. I'm listening.
Finally, I was starting to worry I'd have to rely on Eli over there. Sam, I'm going to do something and you're going to help me. Together, we're going to give people faith and hope again. We're going to do something new that will change everything. It will be dangerous. A lot of the road will be uphill, but together, we will change the world.
Speak, Spirit. I'm listening.
And so began the story of a 12-year-old whose life in the Bible would be regarded as every bit the equal of Moses or any prophet that ever lived. He would be remembered by rabbis, ministers, imams for his wisdom. He would bring down kings and anoint new ones and change the fate of his people, all because he was listening to the wisdom that was inside him all along. I wonder, when was the last time you listened to the Spirit? What wisdom lies asleep in you? Sounds like this would be as good a time as any to awaken to it. And together, no matter our age, let's change the world.
And all the people said, Amen. I think we should take a bow.
Fantastic acting. So, as we just heard in the story this morning, in a new way, one of the things we talked about was wisdom. So, I was wondering, what did you hear about wisdom? And you might have to shout it out for me, and I'll repeat it. Listen, yeah. Did you learn anything else about wisdom? It's in every one of us. Yes. Anything else? Age doesn't matter. That's right, we all have wisdom. So, what does wisdom mean? Listen to children, absolutely. Common sense, absolutely. Insight, yeah. Listen to your elders, for sure. Anything else? Patience? Yes. As we learned with Samuel, sometimes it does take patience. We don't always hear it the first time, even when it's from within us. For sure. Intuition, yeah. Openness, yeah. Trust yourself, yes. Understanding, yeah. There are so many ways that we can understand wisdom. The dictionary calls it having an experience, knowledge, or good judgment, the quality of being wise. As people of faith, wisdom can take on a deeper meaning, though. Wisdom can be an activity, as we just saw, a way of knowing and being that emerges through an opening of mind and heart. In wisdom, we see to the heart of something and get a greater perspective. So where do you think we could find wisdom? Everywhere. Yes, absolutely. Anything more specific? In listening, absolutely. Any other ideas? Yes, in church, absolutely. From children, yes, absolutely. School, yes. Grandparents, yeah. Maybe there are places we could read it? Yeah, maybe in the Bible. I personally love that it took us that long to get there because there are so many places that we can find wisdom. And that is one of them that we love to look at here, but it is not the only one that we look at here, as we heard this morning. So, there are young people that can also share wisdom with us. Have any of you heard a young person share a story when maybe they got to the heart of it? Not necessarily in a mean way, but in a vulnerable and honest way. one that wasn't afraid to just tell it like it is. Do you have a story you might want to share about some time when a kid might have come up to you and take something that was confusing and complex or felt that way and made it seem really simple? Yeah. Oh, can we give a... Yeah. Absolutely. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah. Anyone that loves God can have this, so why can't I? What a great lesson. So one of the stories that I heard in the past couple of weeks was about a friend of mine whose kid went out trick-or-treating on Halloween and got juice, which is personally one of my favorite things to get on Halloween. And when they tasted it, their face lit up because it tasted like communion juice. Right? So I don't know how many people know this, but there are certain kinds of juice that we use in communion because they're supposed to evoke or remind us of times we've done communion before and of the story that we share and that we remember in those moments of how Jesus gathered around the table with people that he loved and broke bread and drank with them. And this person, this little child, when they realized that this juice tasted like communion juice to them, their face lit up. And I just love that that's how they felt about that. And maybe we have some new ideas for juice. So some of you may have noticed that you have what I'm calling paddles, but will probably not actually work for a game that way. Which on one side say Bible, and on the other side say kids. Does anybody not have one that would like one? Okay. Well, let's get some more. There you go. You're welcome. Does anybody else need one? Oh, you got it. Yes, I had a couple of people say they should just follow me, so now I guess you can. All right, does everybody else have one that needs one or would like one? Yes? Okay, great. So, I'm going to read out a couple of quotes, and they're going to be up here on this screen here for you, and we're going to try and guess together whether or not a kid or young person said it, and if so, you hold up the kid's side, or whether or not it was in the Bible. And for those joining online, please feel free to write it in the chat and take a guess at it.
It's like Jeopardy.
Yes, like Jeopardy. Only I said this to the choir ahead of time. There will be no points or grades or cash prizes. I'm sorry. It's just the fun of playing the game. So, our first quote. God made us all rich and poor. Yeah, many of you got that one. That one came from the Bible.
That was the easy one we picked.
All right, so our next quote, don't wait until you've reached your goal to be proud of yourself. Be proud of every step you take reaching that goal. Yeah, many of you got that one. That's right. That came from kids. Be happy in your hope. Stand your ground when you're in trouble and pray. Oh, many of you got that one. Yes, that one's from the Bible. I hope everyone feels comfortable and confident going to therapy and speaking out.
Amen.
Wisdom. Yes, they came from kids. Don't just pretend, show your love. Some mixed choices on that one. Yeah, that one came from the Bible. Yeah, we're learning a few things this morning, huh? Isn't that great? Isn't that why we come here? All right. Don't think about size. Focus more on being powerful and confident. I love the confidence and the hiding. That one comes from kids. All right. This is one of my personal favorites. Love is where you're missing some of your teeth, but you're not afraid to smile because you know your friends still love you, even when parts of you are missing. Yeah. Who else could that come from but from a child? Yeah, absolutely. All right. Better to eat veggies in a house filled with love than to eat steak served by someone who hates your guts.
Oh, I knew it. I know. You totally called this one.
This one was a bit of a trick in that it is absolutely from the Bible. It is. Yep. Proverbs 15.
Proverbs 15, people.
We may have, adapted the words just slightly. Someone's going to look it up. I love that. All right. We realize the importance of our voices only when we are silenced. That one actually comes from a child or a young person. Yeah. Really wise words. And don't let anyone put you down because you're young. Teach others by how you live. So this is another trick one, but because it is from the Bible, but it's from the book of Timothy. And Timothy was a child, just much like Samuel in our story this morning, for most of when he did ministry and did the things that he did. So you were both right. Kids and Bible. There's a combination there. There are lots of stories of young people doing some pretty incredible things in the Bible. You could take a look. All right. When haters go after your looks and differences, it means they have nowhere left to go and that you're winning. Yeah. Came from kids. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That one actually came from a young person. Yeah. But it's definitely a core message of the Bible. So
It's a riff on the Bible.
I totally think you got the point.
Okay.
Yeah. Be happy with those who are happy and cry with those who are crying. Yeah, you got that one. That one comes from the Bible. Absolutely. Even a fool looks smart with their mouth shut.
That's from Newfoundland.
That one actually comes from the Bible. It totally does. Again, from the book of Proverbs, which, if you don't know, is actually often referred to as the wisdom part of the Bible. So, one more. If one man can destroy everything, why can't one girl change it? Yeah, that one came from a child. Yeah, absolutely. A time is coming when a good branch from David's family will rule in a wise way. He'll make sure of justice and keep people united. He will do what is fair and right in the land. I thought you might get that one. Yeah, that one's from the Bible. Don't doubt yourself because of how old you are. You can go anywhere you feel called, and you will know what to say. Don't be afraid of anyone. You are not alone. That one does come from the Bible. But again, Jeremiah was quite young for most of what he did in those stories. Anyone can do this work. Our message is stronger when we're more than one person. That one came from kids. I am from this land. My ancestors were buried on this land. This land is our land and is a part of me, a part of everything I am and everything I do. Yeah, that came from kids. Faith is taking the first step when you can't see the whole staircase. That one came from the Bible. There are no points. There are no wrong answers. We're just learning. We all need water. We wouldn't live without water. Nothing would. Yeah, kids.
A lot of groans.
I'm hearing some groans. That's a new musical sound from back here. Everything should be done in love. Yeah, that one comes from the Bible. Absolutely. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped, because God is with this movement. That one comes from a young person. Yeah. Peace is what enables development and is critical in providing opportunities to young people. Efforts to preserve peace are absolutely vital in bringing prosperity and hope for the future. That one came from a young person. Yeah. Now, faith, hope, and love remain. These three things, and the greatest of these is love. Yeah. I thought we'd probably get that one. That one comes from the Bible. And it's a very popular one to use in things like weddings, that sort of thing. And we love to talk about love. Absolutely. Taste and see how good God is. Yeah, that one also comes from the Bible, the book of Psalms. Even in the hardest circumstances, dreams can give you the courage to live. Yeah, that one came from kids. All right, and our last one, our beautiful planet Earth is the greatest gift for us. I believe we have an obligation to share it fairly with everyone, to preserve it to the best of our ability, and hand it over to the next generation in as good a condition as we received it. That one came from kids. So, you might be wondering, who are some of these kids? So, one of the people who I shared a couple of quotes from this morning, her name is Simone Biles, and you may have heard of her recently because she's an Olympian. And from her book, she shares, "My journey to the 2016 Olympics started on a daycare field trip. You might think that going from a girl in foster care to being an Olympic gold medalist in Rio de Janeiro is the most amazing part of my journey. It isn't. It's how I got there. Or more accurately, who got me there. That is most miraculous. How my faith and my family made my wildest dreams come true. And how embracing a dream can help you have the courage to soar." She was 13 when she won that gold medal. Malala Yousafzai established the Malala Fund with her father, a charity dedicated to giving every girl an opportunity to achieve a future that she chooses. She received the Nobel Peace Prize in December 2014 and became the youngest ever Nobel laureate at 17 years old. Greta Thunberg, who many of you have probably heard of, was well known after the protests to the Swedish Parliament in 2018, when she was only 15 years old. Her small campaign had a global effect, inspiring more than 20,000 students from the UK to Japan that joined her in skipping school for that protest against climate change. Martin Luther King Jr., from a very young age, was a social activist and later became a Baptist minister who played a key role in the American civil rights, who sought equality and human rights for African Americans and the economically disadvantaged and all victims of injustice through peaceful protest. Autumn Peltier is a world-renowned Anishinaabe water rights advocate and leading global youth environmental activist who was nominated for the International Child's Peace Prize in 2017, 2018, and 2019 at only 13, 14, and 15 years old. Yoona Kim was a two-time Olympic medalist of the Republic of Korea and set a new world points record when she won the gold at the 2010 Winter Games in Vancouver at only 20 years old. And Yi So-yeon is a South Korean scientist, pilot, doctor, engineer, and astronaut, and the first South Korean citizen in space at the age of 30 in 2008. So, I wonder, What did you learn about wisdom? Anything that surprised you? You cannot always guess where it came from. Yes, we definitely saw that this morning. We kept you on your toes, huh? It is eternal. Absolutely. It is not bounded by age or race or gender. Yeah. There are many different ways that wisdom can be expressed. Yes, absolutely. Anything else? Wisdom is passion. Absolutely. Yeah. Wisdom is an activity, a way of knowing and being that emerges through an opening of mind and heart. In it, we see to the heart of something and get a greater perspective. Wisdom is in every living thing, and at every stage of our existence, we have it to offer. All we need to do is open our mind, our heart, and our spirit, and listen. So let's pray together. This is a repeat after me prayer. Better! Dear God, thank you for wisdom in all its many forms and sources. Help us to listen for the wisdom all around us and within us, in all the places and forms it comes. Amen.
And wisdom is love, and love is wisdom. And we're going to sing a little bit about that. We sang it for you last week, but we had a couple requests to do it again. And one email said to me it wasn't long enough, and I was thinking, well, we did a lot of repeating, but sometimes you want to hear more. So we're going to sing a little bit of love.
A little love, a little love, a little bit of love, and I'm on my way. A little love, a little love, a long way, but we'll get there together. A long way, but we'll get there soon. Along the way, we can lean on each other. A little love goes a long, long way. A little love, a little love, a little bit of love, and the sun comes shining. A little love, a little love, a little bit of kindness, and someone smiling. A little love, a little love, a long way, but we'll get there together. A long way, but we'll get there soon. Along the way, we can lean on each other. A little love goes a long, long way. A little love, a little love. Little drops of rain can trickle down into a puddle. Then the puddles get together, making streams that make a river. The rivers fill the valleys with a roaring and a rushing. Then the little drops of rain have made a wide, 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 wide ocean. A long way, but we'll get there together. A long way, but we'll get there soon. Along the way, we can lean on each other. A little love goes a long, long way. A long way, but we'll get there together. A long way, but we'll get there soon. Along the way, we can lean on each other. A little love goes a long, long way. A little love, a little love, a little love.
That was great. Once again, that was great. Thank you, Tony, for listening to the popular request and repeating it for us. I'll ask the ushers to come forward now, and it's that time when we show our thanks to all the wonderful work that is being done in this church and in this community, and we give of our time. Many folks are volunteers, like our magnificent AV team, and they turn around and give of their time and talents each and every week. We also have, of course, a need for treasures, and that's what we do online many times with the offertory that way, or with pre-authorized remittance. We can do some pre-authorized remittance. And it recently occurred to me that I have not increased my pre-authorized remittance for some time. And inflation, it's alive and out there, and it's actually a bit of time for my pre-authorized remittance to maybe go up a little bit. So I offer you that thought as you ponder your waving of the wand over the baskets as it comes by. That's the signal that you're on pre-authorized remittance for those that are visitors that may not be aware of that. So yes, as we continue to offer our time and our treasures and our talents, I give you that thought as you go forward. Gracious God, wonderful community, thank you for these offerings that are before us, for the magic of electronic devices that allow pre-authorized remittances, for all the time and the treasures that we offer each other in this community of faith. We are grateful for the opportunity to gather, to be together. Amen. I'll ask Bill to come forward. I think it's time for a Nashi update. Oh, and you. Sorry. Well, it only said Bill in the program.
Good morning. I'm Joyce Riddell, and this is my husband, Bill Moss, and we are co-chairing the Ukrainian Relief Committee, which was established several months ago to reach out to Ukrainians that were in desperate need of support. We have chosen NASHI as the current focus of our efforts, and NASHI is an organization based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, my home province, which provides housing and education to orphan girls in Ukraine. If not for NASHI, these little girls would be at high risk of being swept into the sex trade. Sex trolls prey on children in war-torn countries as well as elsewhere. The girls in their care range in age from 6 to 17. There are 18 girls who are currently living under Nashi's care. Before the war, they lived in an orphanage outside of Lviv, but have since been moved to safety to a convent out of Krakow, Poland. And this is where they are currently living. They are attending school there as well. So one thing I did want to mention, I was asked what the word Nashi really, what it means, and it apparently means different things in different languages, but I believe in Russian that it means hours. So I think that's a very apt definition, because I'm really hoping that our congregation will look at Nashi and these little girls as ours. So we're very excited about future plans for fundraising, which we are going to be discussing with our ministerial team, and we'll be bringing you more updates after Christmas as our fundraising plans become firmed up. So you will see over my shoulder. Do you want to go ahead and speak first, Phil, or should I go?
You're doing fine.
Okay, good. So the slide that you see there is the Nashi coordinator, Sevilla Kerniski, and she lives in Saskatoon, as I mentioned, and this summer I had the opportunity to meet and visit with her in Saskatoon, and I presented her with a BUC prayer shawl, which was made by Andrea Richard. She was absolutely delighted to receive this. So she has gifted us with several Ukrainian items, which we will be using in our future fundraising. So as well, she gifted us with a beautiful cloth, which is meant to be, I thought it would be very nice on our communion table. So I'd like to present this to BUC on Nashi's behalf. Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think this is,
He's over there.
he's hiding over there.
Yeah, he's over there. In Ukraine. This was made by someone in Ukraine.
I just wanted to add that we are constantly looking for other members to join our committee to help us out. Ukraine, the Russian war has not ended by any means. And unfortunately, with that last rocket firing into Poland, it has affected the Polish people as well as the children who have moved to Poland for safety. They're not feeling safe in Poland either. So they're constantly under pressure, and they do need our support and help. More to that end, I would like to, and we will, I think, proceed with trying to join stronger bonds with the girls in Ukraine through our own youth group. And we'll be talking with Caitlin and the youth committee about that. And hopefully can be some to and fro in terms of letter writing or communications, probably more electronic than anything these days. But maybe hopefully someday some of our children or youth can visit Poland and them, or hopefully better yet, Ukraine, and they can come and visit us. So that is a long-term goal and hope. One other thing is that, as I say, one of the missions of Nashi, is the strong one, is to educate us about child trafficking and sex trafficking. And it's a large, large problem which occurs here, not just in Poland, Ukraine, but wars make this even worse. So we also would like to, at some point, try to bring Victor Malarek, who was an old CBC broadcaster and very interested in this movement, to maybe come and talk to us about the sex trade and what happens and sex trafficking in the world. I think that would be really eye-opening for us and helpful. Thank you. And thank you, by the way, for all your support in the past, and looking forward to more of it in the future, obviously, because this is an ongoing business, as you well know, unfortunately.
One last point. I know Sevalia, when I met her, she said she would just love to come out and meet us and teach us how to make pierogies. And she's amazing. She's a huge Saskatchewan Rough Rider fan too, so I really love her.
Tell that these two are very passionate, as many of you are, about doing what we can to help in Ukraine and help a group of people who are often underrepresented, and really you don't see a whole lot of news stories about what happens because of war, what happens to kids, what happens in the sex trafficking world around that. So thank you both for championing Nashi for us and helping us think about it as a congregation, and we look forward to that. Today is also a day where we really are remembering people who are often unseen, and when they are seen, they are some of the most vulnerable people among us. So November 20th, it's no strange that in the last week, it's not strange at all, that I've had many conversations with parents of transgender people or transgender people themselves about what this day means. So November 20th is the International Day of Transgender Remembrance. And while we acknowledge that violence happens for all kinds of unjust reasons, today we honor the lives of the victims of violence because of their gender identity and their gender expression. And so due to widespread ignorance and erasure of people's experiences as trans people, this day is an important opportunity for all of us to intentionally bear witness to the hardships within the trans community. Today, on this International Transgender Day of Remembrance, we gather to remember and mourn all those trans people who have been victims of homicide, to honor the lives of those who might otherwise just be forgotten, to restore dignity to those who have struggled and suffered incredible violence, and become more aware of who is just so vulnerable in our communities, and finally to really support our siblings in faith who are right here at Bedford United Church, let alone out there in all kinds of places on the internet, who together with their families and their friends walk this road every day of their lives, often feeling like they are just so alone. We're going to post some resources on our Facebook page after if you want to learn more, and I encourage you to do so. Before we light this candle and I share a prayer, and this prayer is going to come from Reverend Sean Parker and Dennison, and also Rabbi Danya Rutenberg, who are both trans community of faith leaders. Let's have a moment of silence before we light this candle. Think of someone you know. If you don't know anybody who's out as trans right now, think of parents out there. Think of the kids out there who are struggling with this, with their gender expression, and how they're seen by others. And let's just hold this silence together. Spirit of infinite love, we share this prayer as it was written by those within the trans community, for the trans community, and for all who walk with them. Reverend Sean and Rabbi Danya write, Spirit, be with me and my people. Help us know that we are loved, wholly and deeply, exactly as we are. Help us know that our faces are a reflection of the face of the sacred, the face of God. Help us understand that our longing to be whole and tell the truth of who we are is holy. Be with us when we're afraid. Be with us when we are proud and joyful. Be with us when we are confused, and protect us from our enemies. Help us transform the world by being ourselves and understanding the deep need for every person to have the freedom, safety, and support to do the same. Help us transform the oppression we face into determination to stand up for ourselves and for any we see also being oppressed. Help us to learn and accept our anger when it is necessary and appropriate, and to let it go when it's causing harm. Help us accept and celebrate the diversity in our own community and show the world it's possible to love each other even though we don't always have to agree. Help us forgive. Help us listen. Help us let go of stubbornness. Let us worry more about being kind than about being right. Spirit of life that defies labels and will not be made small by small minds, give us courage to live fully and continue to learn, grow, and transform ourselves, our communities, and the world. In the choices we make and the words we choose as we share life, remind everyone our heart and our soul have the power to reflect and refract what is good and holy about the world. We are the prism through which the light of the sacred shines. Please, for our common good and for the world that so desperately needs us and all the great gorgeousness we have to offer, Spirit, may we let it shine, shine, shine on. God bless us and keep us, and may you shine your countenance upon us with grace. May you lift goodness upon us all and bring us peace. And all the people said, Amen.
We're going to stand together if you're able to stand, and we're going to sing together, Spirit God Be Our Breath. That's 150 in more voices. Join with us at home.
Spirit God, be our breath, be our song, blow through us, bringing strength to move on. Our world seems inward, defensive and strong. Spirit God, be our song. Patient God, soothe our pride, calm our fear. Comfort us when we know you are near. We grow more certain your vision is clear. Patient God, calm our fear. Loving God, be our voice, be our prayer. Reaching out, joining hands as we share. We seek your guidance through friendship and care. Loving God, be our prayer. Spirit God, be our breath, be our song. Blow through us, bringing strength to move on. Through change, through challenge, we'll bring a new dawn. Spirit God, be our song.
To lead us in the lantern blessing.
There was once someone who said such wonderful things and did such amazing things that people followed him. And one day they asked him, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am the light." And that light of Christ that is the source of wisdom and creativity and compassion and love and peace is with each of us every day, wherever we are. It's not just in this place, but it goes with us when we leave. And as we take this with us, may it remind you that that light of Christ does go with you in everything you say this day or do, and even forever.
As we go, we will sing just verse 1 of Come and Seek the Ways of Wisdom. Come and seek the ways of wisdom.
She who does when you're
Have a blessed week, everyone.
If you can help decorate for Christmas, please stay afterwards.